persons in their respective areas are always a motivation for us. If you ask me to name one, I could easily say it is, for me, Sachin Tendulkar. Not because he is a millionaire, but because of his qualities. Sachin Tendulkar, he is the icon of the cricket. He is rated as one among the best cricketers ever born. He started to play for international cricket at the age of 16, and still at the age of 38, he still continues to play for India, and he is the integral part of the team. Even though he is a batsman by profession, young Sachin during his school days, he wanted to become a bowler. For that purpose, he went to MRF Base Foundation. There he met the coach, Dennis Lilly. Dennis Lilly, by observing his talents, he advised Sachin, Sachin, you are best suited as a batsman rather than a bowler. Sachin valued his advice, went back and found another coach named Mr. Arshekar and started practicing cricket under him. Arshekar was very much impressed with the dedication, hard work and punctuality of young Sachin. Sachin voluntarily spent much of his time practicing on the nets. And Arshekar, he had a special technique to boost the motivation and concentration of the players. What he did, especially when Sachin was batting, he used to place a coin, a 1 rupee coin, on the top of the stumps. And if anyone who bowled Sachin out could take that coin. And by the end of the day, if Sachin remains unbeaten, then Sachin could take that coin. Sachin once wrote in his biography that one of the most valuable possessions he ever had are 13 such coins he would make. Sachin's talent and his dedication, hard work and punctuality paid for him when he was selected for Indian cricket team at the age of 16. Since that time, he never looked back. The great thing is that he still continues the same kind of practice and dedication even after reaching the pinnacle of cricket. Dear Toastmasters, the story of Sachin, I think we have many things to learn from him, especially in a Toastmasters context. The first one, the level of practicing, the kind of practice Sachin was practicing. He was a dedicated person. In our Toastmasters contest, I am asking, are we preparing our speeches thoroughly, at least to a level that Sachin was doing? Most of our successful Toastmasters advise us that we should practice a prepared speech at least 15 times before we deliver it. Are we doing it? And what most important thing taken from Sachin is that he is still continuing, even after marking all the possible records in his name, he is still continuing the same level of practice. Are we thinking that achieving CC or ALB or even DTM is the end of life and we are stopping the practice there? We should not. We should not. We should still continue the practice. As like any other tool, public speaking will also become rusted if you are not practicing it using it. Another thing which I noticed in this story is the relation of Sachin with his coaches, or in our context, the mentor-mentee relationship. Dennis Lilly, he advised Sachin to practice as a batsman. Sachin valued it and changed his career path, and he became successful. Are we valuing the advisors? Are we contacting our mentors properly, taking their advices, and put them into action? My mentor is staring at me. I don't know why. And yet another thing is there. The level of motivation the mentor, Arshekar, has given to his trainees. Arshekar even spent some money from his pocket to motivate the children. He was successful in creating a specific objective for the children. The objective being to collect the coin. This is another thing that we should learn from this one. In Toastmasters, every project will have its own objective, a specific objective. We should be very specific with that objective and try to achieve that objective while you deliver your speech. Days back, at Toastmaster colleague, he was preparing for his fourth project. One of the objectives of the fourth project is to use rhetorical devices. His question to me was, what are rhetorical devices? Anyone like to answer him? Sunil could answer.
Quotations, yeah. Metaphors,
Yes,
quotations.
you are right. Rhetorical devices, they are resources of language which is used to persuade a listener or to take them to think about a topic in a specific way, in a specific dimension. Examples are ironies or metaphors. Do you want to know what I told him?
Yes.
I told him, sorry, right? Rhetorical devices are some special kind of props used in Toastmasters. Do you think that Toastmaster will come back to me and take my advice in the future?
He will think twice.
You should be very strict. When you are doing a project, you should understand your specific objectives very well, and you should remember it, and you should use it throughout your succeeding projects. You should not forget it. Another thing which we can see from the story of Cijo is his punctuality. He was very regular, and even now, after achieving all the success, he still will never try to miss a training session. We are advised that we should reach the video at least 10 minutes before the meeting starts. Are we? In Toastmasters, it is said that for the speeches or anything, there is plus or minus grace time. But for attending a meeting, no, there is no grace time. You should attend the meeting at least 10 minutes before the meeting starts. I remember in our college days, when the professor walks in and starts calling for the attendance, the class will be tightly packed. By the time he turns around, write something in the blackboard, and turns back, you can see some of them will be busy from the class. This process continues, and by the end of the session, the attendance might have reduced by 50%. Even though very rarely, I could see that a similar thing is happening here also, but in the reverse order. You should not practice that one. Even when you are given an assignment, you should try to complete your assignment on time, on a stipulated time. Remember, when you are taking a minute extra or overshooting your time by 1 minute, you are stealing the time from 40 such Diamond Toastmasters. Totally, you are stealing 40 minutes from the Diamond Toastmasters. You should not practice it. You should complete your projects or assignments on time. Dear Toastmasters, I didn't tell much. Only 2 or 3 things you have to notice, and I am sure that you could succeed as a good Toastmaster. Be punctual, arrive the venue on time, practice your speeches thoroughly, be specific with your objective, and always contact your mentor, take his advice. I am sure by this you could be a Sachin Tendulkar of Toastmasters. And back to you, Toastmasters.